Well, we're getting ready to roll into the last day of combining wheat. We've got about 35 acres left, and what we have left, I want to put in the grain bin down below, and I got to make sure it's dry for that. So we're going to kind of get off to a later start today than normal. Before we get going, we actually have a fiber disc clutch ring to put on this baler here, and we also have a stripper plate that goes in the pre-compression chamber here. We've got one missing right there. We've got to get that in there, and then Jared can get into balanced straw here today. So in order to get this apart, we have to pull this shaft, this yoke off. We'll just slide that out of the way. Undo all of these, it looks like 12mm bolts. Get these nuts off of there. We can pull this apart and slap the new disc onto there. So we'll go ahead and get started here, and then we can get to actually, we might have to, I haven't done this before, Jared has. Might have to unbolt it from here and get this out of there and go at it that way. So let's get that apart and we'll see what this entails here. Alright, so we've just about got this apart. I've just got two more nuts to release off them springs, and these rings are going to come off of here. And we can go ahead and replace the friction clutch. This wasn't slipping at all, but it was definitely on borrowed time. And luckily it had rained yesterday, or else this probably would have went down to the point where they wouldn't have been able to bale anything here yesterday afternoon. That thing is just falling apart. Alright, so we're just going to pull this off here. Well, that ain't necessarily going to pull off of there. So we need to probably remove these bolts here now to get that to slide forward enough to wiggle it up out of there. So this isn't going as easy as I thought it would, unless I might be able to do this a different way. Not going to be able to remove all of these. Exactly the way I wanted it to. So it looks like we're going to have to remove these three bolts and get this whole drive mechanism out of there completely. Just falling right apart. Okay. Now we can go ahead . we need to lift this up out of here. It's heavier than I thought. I gotta go get a ladder. Alright, this is not good. This drive assembly's got a good old crack in it. And we're going to have to get a new one of those. Alright, so the reason why that fiber disc is broke, it's because this pressure plate itself has cracked. So we're going to have to do something about that. I'm going to have to get a new one, I guess. We could try just throwing these new discs in there, and maybe we'll get a little more time out of it, but it doesn't appear that we're going to be able to get too far with it here. Yeah, that's not good. So I'm gonna call and see if I can get one of these drive discs. If not, we're just gonna have to run it the way it is. Well, here we are. We have not only the wrong fiber disc, but we're gonna have to go ahead and wait for some parts to get delivered here. We were gonna just throw this back together with new discs, but these discs are the wrong ones. It's Friday afternoon. I just got off the phone with White's Farm Supply. They do not have one of these in stock. I had them get the parts ready for us, and we're going to try to get them overnighted to us so that we see them here for tomorrow. But the trouble with getting parts on an overnight delivery for a Saturday is a little tough. So we're going to have to abandon this job. We'll go ahead and run to the combine. I thought once I realized these discs were wrong, I said, well, maybe I can put this back together with these clutch discs just kind of pieced in there. But I don't have enough pieces for the other one. The fiber discs have fallen out, and I think it's just going to fail here at some point anyways. Trying to do that. We might be able to throw new discs in there and get some time out of it, but then we've got to run all the way back to the dealership to get those parts. They have the right discs in stock. I shouldn't say discs, they have one. It takes two to do this job. I don't know why you would have one. But at any rate, it is what it is. So we're gonna get this one stripper plate put in there for the stuffer chamber, and then we'll go ahead and get to the field and get the combine going. Alright, we had to order parts. We should see them tomorrow. They will not deliver to our farm address. They say it's not a business, so they won't deliver to residential addresses on the weekend. So we kind of set everything all back together here. We're going to go ahead and run along to the combine. We've got that stripper plate in there, and all we got to do is put that clutch together tomorrow whenever we get the parts, and then this baler will be functional again. Jared's going to use the other baler for now, and we did get a Tiger tool, and that is the topic for another day. So we're going to go ahead and run to the combine and try to get everything done as far as wheat harvesting goes here this afternoon. Well, we are headed to the last field. This one particular farm is 85 acres, and we have a 20-acre field just down the road here. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to take the head off. We're just going to wing it here. And of course, now I come into a couple of trucks here. So we're just going to sneak out once these vehicles get by. We've got to get by this trash can and the mailbox here, and then we've just got to go down that side road a little ways there. So anybody else that comes, they are going to have to back up. So, oh, I just pushed that trash can off the road. They shouldn't be out in the road anyways, you know? Damn things. That's a hazard. So this is the tightest spot right here, just because we've got guardrails, and then we're just gonna scoot down this back road, no big deal. And this other field is right up here on the left. So we got Sarah running grain buggy today. Charlotte had a friend's birthday party to go to, so she's doing that, and we're gonna cut the remainder of the wheat without her here. So we've got a nice short little telephone line to go under here. We got that tied up. That's been tied up like that for a couple years. So we'll just sneak in here like this, and we'll be good. Well, we just took that grain cart load down, dumped it on the truck, which we had the truck staged down where the old barn was. We're just gonna walk out into this wheat here. This wheat has had some hail damage. You can see a lot of grain on the ground here, and you're probably saying, oh, that's combine loss. Well, this is before what you see coming out of the back of the combine. You're gonna say, well, that's header loss. No. This wheat has suffered some hail damage. You can see this wheat right down in here, and the hail just knocked the wheat out of the heads here. You might be saying, well, geez, maybe the combine's just throwing it quite a ways. Well, that's not it either. We're out in here about a good 30 feet, and you can see the wheat all on the ground here. You can see it right there. And it's unfortunate because when that storm went through here a few weeks ago, I thought sure that we escaped any problems because we've got crop that's still standing. And once we got into it with the combine, we were seeing about a 30 bushel loss here. I don't think it's that much. I just don't think this wheat has yielded all that well over on this farm anyways. We're going to jump into combine in a second here, but This wheat was our poorest yielding wheat. The straw is not as heavy, and neither is the grain. So we'll go ahead and jump up in here. Catch this on the run here. She probably didn't really want to stop anyways, but that's all right. So this is the last little bit that we have to do here. It's probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 acres left here. And it looks like she's not even, I guess she's a little over half full here. How's things going? Good. And the big combine, huh? Mm-hmm. So we're not yielding all that great. I was just explaining to everybody that we have some wheat on the ground, and I walked over into this wheat where the windrow was, and one might say your combine's not adjusted good enough. Well, we're seeing some wheat in behind the header. So when you see that, you say, oh, that's header loss. I just explained this, you know, like a minute ago. So I'm repeating myself here. Yes. But we did actually walk out into the standing crop, and we seen the freaking grain sitting there. We have seen exceptional yields this year. This year has been the best year that we have ever seen out of wheat. It's just very unfortunate that the last piece that we cut had to be as poor as it is. And you can see quite a few of these heads, they're not even dropped down. They're not dropped down because they don't have any weight in them to cause them to drop down. So what do you think of combining here anyways?
It's alright.
It's alright?
Yeah.
Probably would have been a little better if you got a little corn time in last year, right? Yeah. Sarah got some wheat time last year, and I'm just like being, you know, a little selfish here. I give her just this little bit to do, you know, on the last day. But she's been trucking with Alex. I had said earlier that Charlotte had a birthday party to go to, and Sarah had to get suckered into running the grain buggy. Alex took the last load of wheat here this afternoon. Oh, we got a little fawn. You can see him running over there. I should get out of the combine and chase that sucker down. You think I could catch it?
Yeah.
You think? You don't think I could?
No.
So I had to change the microphone because the microphone that I use picks up on the back of the camera. Now we are in front of the camera here, so we had a little bit of a gap there in what we videoed, and Sarah didn't seem to think that I could run fast enough to catch that fawn, but I should have ran and got it anyways. Of course, then I'd get tagged for animal cruelty or something, you know. Yeah. But at any rate, it is what it is. So are you going to be excited to see that wheat's all done and over with?
Kinda.
Sarah can't wait. Oh, I got the camera turned a little too much here. Sarah can't wait to get doing some tillage here. We're going to seed everything down with alfalfa. All of the ground that we had wheat on, we're going to seed down to alfalfa. We had about 450 acres here, so. And they've been slowly getting some manure on this ground, and once we get enough manure down, then we can start using the pottinger tool and going in and prepping this ground before we actually seed this down. The 9560, I know some of you have been kind of wondering what's been going on with that. First, we better back up a little bit. We had some problems with that on the last couple days of, we had that on tear disc. Last couple days of corn, and it had an injector. Was it an injector? It had what they thought was a bad injector, And it did have a bad injector, and it also had a bad piston. So we elected to put a reman engine in it, and they are just getting that finished up here now. That was a rather expensive job to do to it, and it is what you deal with this equipment, I guess. So hopefully we get that back here in the next week or 10 days, but if not, we'll just have to use the 9410.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know. Do you have anything to add to this video?
Nope.
No. Somebody said that you get awful nervous on camera.
Oh.
You look down at your shoes and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. Oh well. So, but that's gonna do it, I guess, for this one anyway. So we'll catch you at the next video. We've got this wheat here is gonna go into our bin, and what we're gonna use it for is cover crop. Once we get corn chopped, we go in with a fertilizer spreader and we just spread the wheat on, and it allows something to be growing after we get corn off, and then it kind of cuts down on erosion, and it helps absorb some of the manure in the spring once we get applying manure. So looks like how much we got. Up into the glass yet? No. So we've almost got a tank on, and it looks like we're gonna have a full truckload out of what's left here. So take it easy, folks. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you at the next one. Right, Sarah?
Yes.
You didn't want to do that sign off, did you?
No, I'm good.
You're good?
Yep.
Oh,